We recently did a Virgin Voyages Dominican Daze cruise. It was a 5-day cruise sailing out of Miami. We wanted to do the pre-check-in to drop our bags off early, so we dropped our bags off about 9:30, and they allowed us to do a pre-check-in. Our scheduled check-in was 3 p.m., so here they are, each station with the tablet, and so they check you in. After our check-in, we wanted to check out the sites. They do give you a wristband, which is pretty much your life on the ship. We sail with Scarlet Lady. There's a wristband. It lets you in your room. That's how you do your tab, buy your drinks. We were going to take a free shuttle down to the area in which the port is and hang out for a little bit. So we waited about 15 minutes for the shuttle. It was pretty crowded, but we did get the shuttle that's just right outside of the pier. So once you check in, you can walk down that walkway, and then the shuttle awaits you. And then it's several stops that they made, but we got off at the first stop. And here we are. And we're going to walk around close by their eateries, the waterway, several restaurants, as I mentioned. There are several shops. But this is just us. We had 5 hours before we were scheduled to board. And now we are headed back to check in. And this is us arriving back to the ship. And the ahoy sign, you hear that often while you're on the ship. That's their way of saying hello, so ahoy. And we are just making our way to check in. We were able to check in much earlier than 3 o'clock. Some of our friends that had a 3:45 check-in while we were out at the museum in the local area, they had allowed them to check in. And when you check in, your rooms are ready right away with the late check-in. So we are just making our way in because we already have our bands from checking in early. Just needed to show my wristband and we were allowed in. And again, this is the same entryway in which we checked in earlier, and the escalators that will take you up. So we missed the crowd, so we got there early. We missed the crowd later that time, and so we are just checking in. So we're boarding the ship now. There are like several employees there to welcome you in. And as you see, we're boarding the ship. We're excited to be on board. And again, no line. So I recommend you get there early, drop your bags off early, go explore, and then come back. We are headed to our cabin, and we are on the 9th floor. And we're walking into the room, and when you first come in, you have little jacket hangers. We have a full-length mirror, and I'm excited about the bathroom. This is the shower area here. So pretty big size shower. And then you have your separate toilet area, a big vanity, some extra towels. And we are in the extra large room. You have your safe, some dresser drawers. This is your closet area. They do have a curtain versus the standard wardrobe. And we have your chair, single bed, stand with the beach towels. And of course, we do have a balcony. We love getting the balcony. But before I do that, let me just pan in for you. Here's what it looks like. And let's go outside and check out outside. So enough for 2 chairs, a hammock. We're still at Port, and we're on the A side. The other side is Z. And again, we're on the 9th floor. Here you go. You do have your refrigerators empty, but you can bring some things back from the galley. And then they do give you 2 bottles of water each day, refillable. And you have your pad that controls your TV, your light, your curtains. You do have to watch a safety video before leaving or upon checking in, and then head to your mustard area. Here is one of the pool areas, is the smaller pool that's midship. You can see the 16th floor. This is actually on the 15th floor, where you will also find the galley. So once you leave the pool area, on the other side, you have your galley. Again, they do not have the traditional buffet, but they do have 20 restaurants on board. Several of the areas within the galley, which you will see in just a few minutes. When you first walk into the galley, you do have your water refill for your mug or thermos. Then they have some pre-packaged salads, granola bars, nuts in the area that you see right on the right of me. And as you continue to walk into the galley, they do make homemade sushi, or sushi of different kinds. You have your tuna, they did have a shrimp tempura sushi. You only get that once a week during the cruise, but they do have several several sushi options for you. That is a popsicle stand and station there, which is pretty delicious. And as you continue to walk into the galley, you have your diner and dash. That's like your hot food, salmon, chicken, mashed potatoes. They have, different things. They do offer breakfast until 2 a.m. So if you're hungry, you can come upstairs and get an omelet, and it's served all day. Despite the lunch and dinner food that they have, you can get an omelet at any time. Here is your burger bar. We did eat vegan burgers a couple of days on the cruise. They also have like fish sandwich that was featured one day, and then your traditional burgers. Here is your dessert area. So cookies and cakes and all things sweet. So those sweet tooth lovers, you have desserts all day. Get as many as you want. They also have fresh fruit over there, pineapples, grapes, watermelon. So lots of choices. And down to the left over there, they have a salad bar. In the morning times, they have bagels and oatmeal with all of the different toppings. And look at all of these baked goods. And that is the Well Bread Station. So freshly baked favorites, croissants, and different things. This is the sail away party. So let the fun begin. So right before sailing away, they pass out their champagne. So everyone had a glass of champagne. You have your entertainers, music, fun, dancing, and just ready to sail away to begin the cruise on this 5-day Dominican Daze. We did eat at a restaurant, one of the specialty restaurants. I ordered orange fish, did not expect to get a fish with a head on it, but I quickly took that off my plate, but enjoyed the fish. And then the first night was pajama party. So here's our pajama party once we were actually off in the sea from our sail away. So around 11 o'clock, you get your signature or theme party. So this one was on the 16th deck. It was pretty cool out there, but after moving around, you quickly warm up a little, and then of course once you start ordering your drinks. So that was fun. We decided to do bingo the next morning. So this is the red room, and so you have 2 bingo hosts, and this is the hallway to the red room. Bingo was pretty funny. and fun. You have 4 different levels, so a red card, blue card, green card, orange card. Each level, it was a twist with bingo, so that was my first time playing with all of the bingo cards, but that was pretty fun. You had your first game, which is traditional bingo, then it kind of went in different modes. And then you have your game room. So it's pretty cool. I love the stand-up shuffleboards. They have board games. They have puzzles. On one of the nights, there was actually game night competition on different games that they chose and who can put the puzzle together the fastest. And so you also have your shuffleboard outside. But this was pretty cool. They actually have like hot dogs and popcorn and pretzels in this little area. And they also have sweets, of course. They had wings, so buffalo or plain wings. They actually did karaoke in this area as well. So it was pretty cool. It was called the Social Club. One night we did some line dancing right in the hallway. And then here are the shops. They have several shops here. I think it was the 6th floor or 7th floor. I can't remember. But there are multiple shops. If you forgot something for red night, of course, you can pop in the store and get your red shirt, red dress. John Hardy. There were jewelry shops. There were perfume shops. This is one of the watch areas. So Lux Legacy there. You have your dry dock. They also have a MAC makeup. I saw they were doing some classes on board one day. So learning how to put your makeup on or just getting made up for the night of theme night definitely was an option for you. So there was so much to do. They have a casino on board. I love, going into the casino and having fun nights. There's also a club in the casinos called the Manor, and that's one of the theme nights club. And there was also a hip hop night, but in the casino there is a non-smoking section, there's a high roller section, and then there's the main casino that I just showed you. I walked back out to the right. There are some additional shops there, so yes, lots of shopping that you can do, lots of stores. It's not just the standard 2 or 3. That's probably was like at least 20 stores that I showed you from all different types. And here we are going into the Manor one night. I believe this was the 80s party. Not a lot of people dressed up for this theme. We did. We were in a hip hop gear and headed to the Manor. And again, it was 80s, so you're talking 80s music and all. And then this is our first stop. We're in Puerto, Plata, and this is a great place to just hang out if you want to have a pretty light day. There's your lazy river. There's an amazing pool area. You can just hang out.
You can either walk,
you can eat, you can shop,
get on the
you can
buggy
just
that take you to the
sunbathe.
end.
It's called
We are at our
Tano
first
Beach.
port, which is
And if you have an excursion, there's an meeting
Dominican
place for
Republic.
tours and excursions.
And if
But
you
again,
didn't book a
beach,
tour,
bars,
there's some
shopping.
last-minute tour.
So lots to do in this area if you just want it to be an easy day.
But other than
We,
that,
of course, went and ventured off.
little
But
area.
again, so much in this smaller area. If you have
coconuts.
mobility issues, there's still
Diamond
lots to do.
International.
So, make sure you get off the
They
ship
still
and
have
just
their
explore this immediate area. And then, head back to the ship at your leisure. But we were in port, we believe, until 5 o'clock. I can't remember, but we took some photos right outside this area. We explored around. Again, there's a map that kind of tells you of all of the different areas. There's Monkey World. So again, lots to do right here in this area, right outside the ship. Don't have to explore, but we decided that we wanted to explore. So
continue with the
and one thing before we left, I like looking at the prices of
And
souvenirs close to
headed
the
toward
port,
Monkey
so that when
Island.
we're in the
We're
cities,
actually
I can
trying to
compare the
find our
price
way
to see,
out.
the expense or
So
what I want to
Monkey
expend,
Island
you
is
can always check it out first, because if you don't buy in the city, you already know what the prices are closer to the port. That way you don't have to worry about, carrying so many bags
We're
with
going
you
out to
while
the
you're out
shop.
and about
Sorry,
in
we're
the
going out
city.
to the
But
taxis.
there was like tequila tasting, there are restaurants, there's just, I can't say it enough. There's just so much that you
Nice
can do right in this
bakery.
area without actually exploring and going off on your own.
Icery.
And here is what the lazy river and the pool area looks like. So there's music, there's dancing. So lots to do. It's a pretty big area. So as you can see, it's not crowded. And of course, many people went off on
It's a pretty big
excursions.
lazy
So,
river.
it
It
was
goes
pretty
around
empty
and around.
per se. There's
So
still
again, lots
people
to
that are
do.
lounging in the
Do not
actual pool
have
area,
to
but that's the
leave the
lazy
port.
river, which they give you a float to kind of go around on the lazy river on. As you can see, the ship
And
is
it's a
right in the
pretty
background.
nice
So
walk
this is
around
just
until
as
you
you
can
get off the
actually
ship.
exit.
You
Again,
either
we're
take
going to
the
walk to Pink
little
Street
car,
and
go-kart
the
like we
Umbrella
did, or you
Street.
just walk to it. So really easy to get to and just
There's a 10 to
stay
15
around the
minute
ship.
walk.
So we did rent a
just
taxi.
arrived at
Be
the
mindful,
port.
because the first guy we came up to wanted to charge us $80 for the four of us. We said no, kept walking, and the next guy said $50. So we took him up on the $50 for four people. So we went to the fort, which was the first stop. So as you can see, is right there on the edge of the island, right on the corner. And then you have your fort. We did go inside. It talks about the history. And all of the things that a normal fort was, but there's lots to do there as well. Educational, there's a little park for the kids. This lady was offering free rides on her donkey. And then our next stop, we went to Pink Street, which I think it needs to be Pink Alley, but there are a lot of little areas that you can stop and take a photo op. You have your Instagram poster, and which many people like to take photos to say they were on Pink Street. This one gentleman who's climbing a ladder, this is his photo op to say he was on Pink Street. And there are benches, there are just a lot of little statues that you can take photos. Bicycle, cute, everything is pink. It's pink everything, the wall is pink, the walkway is pink, the benches, the chairs, everything is pink. Just outside of that, and here's like a bar or whatever if you want to grab something to eat. We didn't go there, but here's a bar right there. And as you can see, it's not that far of a walk from one end to the other, but it's a cute little area. It's free. So it's a cute little area to look, and you can walk to this area. Again, we were taking a taxi around the city, but if you just want to walk from the port to Pink Street, it's not a far walk. It's like 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how fast you walk. After that, right close by is the Umbrella Street, infamous Umbrella Street. So this is adorned with umbrellas all on the top. You have your souvenir shops, you have bars, you have restaurants. So this is where I compared the souvenirs earlier by the port to the shops here. And again, the shops by the port was much cheaper. We went to a local restaurant. I had like fried shrimp and some shrimp fried rice and beer, margaritas and stuff like that. So we did want to support the locals at one of the restaurants. And this is just taking the cart back to the ship. Again, you can walk it. It's just a pier walk. We decided to take the cart back, and we had dinner reservations that night. So this is, us just getting back on the ship earlier. And this was also red party night, so everything red. There were different shows, smaller shows right before the red party, which was on floor 6, 7. The main party was going to be on the 16th floor. Because of the wind, they did move it inside. You do have, again, entertainers throughout on the red night. People dressed, casual. Some aren't dressed in red at all. Some have full red formal wear. So it's really up to you what you want to do. But this is just, some light entertainment before the actual party began. And if you're an early bird, you still get to, get some the entertainment. I think it started like at 6 or 7. So if you're not one of those late nighters where the party actually begins at 10 and the late party at 11 and 12 at night, still lots for you to catch before you actually go to bed. But it was fun. They did everything to really entertain and make the ship lively and fun. So lots to do on the ship. I don't think you'll ever get bored. But this was just, one of the smaller shows before the night began. Like I said, they did move the red party in because of the wind, and it was in the red room. And if you remember where I showed you where we had bingo, so it's like a gymnasium style where all of the chairs could be pushed back. This was close to like 1,000 people in this room, and just different genres of music and entertainment. So, take selfies, take group photos, dance the night away. Lots of fun. There was actually another party that was going to be happening a little later. One of my friends, it was her birthday. So we did go to like the hip hop party, hung out here for a little bit. The line is pretty long, but don't let that intimidate you to get in, because the line moves pretty fast once they open the room. And as you can see, 1,000 people easily is in here. So as the line gets backed up in the casinos where you would line up to get into the red room on some of this theme nights. But again, don't let the line intimidate you. Now, some people do get in the line pretty early, but again, the line moves quickly once the doors open, because everyone can fit in the room. So don't get intimidated or impatient if you can get in. Now, we did go to the manor that night again. It was one of my friend's birthday. We wanted to listen to some hip hop music. So we did that. We celebrated her birthday. As you can see, she's having a good time. We're laughing, we're joking, and just enjoying the night. One of the specialty restaurants, we ate at Agave. So here's a delicious dessert. We have your steak, and just another view of the steak. It's just smothered in like gravy, and it was pretty tender. My friend said I didn't eat it. I'm pescatarian. I did eat the shrimp and the potatoes, and I did ask them to make the chicken enchilada, cheese enchilada. So here you have it there. Also some tuna ceviche. But the guacamole was amazing. I love a good guac, and that was amazing.
Waiting in the line.
We also had Y2K theme night. That wasn't as busy or as many people participating as the Red Party or the 80s party, but that was also in the Red Room. So they had entertainers, they had all music from that time period, pop, rock, all of and everything in between. So we didn't stay that long. It wasn't as exciting, but we hung around, we watched the performers, we listened to the music, and we danced a little. But that night was an early night for us. Our final stop was the beach club at Bimini, Bahamas. So there's this little tram you can take from the ship. It's a pretty long walk if you're wanting to go to the beach. So we actually jumped on the tram. It's a short line, short wait, but it'll take you if you wanted to rent a golf cart. The first stop would be the golf cart. Be mindful because they will immediately tell you $80, but as you can imagine, you can negotiate price, but you get to rent the golf cart and you can drive around the island yourself, or jump on the tram like we did. And no one on our tram actually rented one. This is a nice hotel that sits right before you go to the actual beach area. And here we are at the Beach Club of Bimini. So we're talking a very large pool area. There are cabanas that you can rent by the pool, or you can rent a cabana by the actual ocean. There's also the Rockstar area. We didn't talk about the Rockstar in this video, but it is one of the higher class room that gives you some privileges. So there's a private rock star area here as well. The performers and entertainers actually performed at the beach with dance and music. So again, lots to do here. They actually feed you as well on their private island. So some food options for you. There are several bars in which you could use your room key to actually charge for your drinks here. So you don't have to bring cash. You can just charge it at your room key. You can also rent the cabanas, which is part of the shore excursion. I think some of the cabanas that you see there, and I'll show you a little closer up. I think they're like $600, some are $400. So just depends on which cabana you choose to have, whether it's a pool view, whether it's a little further from the pool, or whether it's an ocean view. So, and then as you can see, there's lots of seating areas and lounge chairs and all, first come first serve. So just imagine how that will be trying to find something. So a lot of folks got off the ship right after we docked, put their towels down, saved their pool chairs for their family, or I'm sorry, not for the family, their friends and family probably, but we actually found some chairs closer to the ocean. We wanted to get into the water and less of the pool area. You see folks playing pool volleyball here, there. Again, just lots of things you can do. Just hang out by the pool, sunbathe. You can swim in the ocean. You can just chill. You can take a nap as you sunbathe. But it was a pretty cool day. This was the last day right before the end of our cruise. This is just us back on the cruise ship. I think you had to be back on the ship around 6 or 6:30 on this particular stop before we headed out of shore. But this is just the shoreline of some of the houses, that hotel that we drove past. So overall, as our first time Virgin Voyages cruise, we would give this an 8 out of 10. We're just enjoying the sunset our last night. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.